Hello and welcome once again. I mean, every fucking week. We're here. You're here. It's like a reunion, but the one that like we just keep turning up to. You keep turning up to. Here we are. Welcome. Welcome everybody to episode 27 of Gamers Assemble, the queer gaming podcast that yet again you didn't ask for. Yet again we've turned up to. And here we are.
We just won't go home.
We won't go home. We're
We
like a
won't go
bad
home.
smell or
S-
chlamydia.
Side note. Oh no, God, no.
We're like that reunion, that school reunion that nobody wants to go to because the three weirdos always turn up. That's us.
That's us.
Yeah,
Is
one's
us.
like
We're always
like licking our bogies, like sat in the corner.
Slight side note. My pussy's just jumped on me and it's wet.
Oh, a wet pussy's the best pussy.
Well, for you maybe, not for me. I'm just gonna have wet patches now all over my shorts.
Which makes
Get
a
a towel,
difference from a
top
normal day.
tip.
How?
I do have a bladder the size of a peanut, but it's been a very long
Are you
time
pregnant?
since I'm pregnant. Yeah, we just talked about pregnancy tests. I'm pregnant.
Yep.
I was just telling Tiggs I've ordered my lateral flow tests so that I can be safe when I have to return to work and things like that. I have to do my little lateral flow tests. That's the one. Was it up the nose and down the throat first and then up the nose?
Oh, you only have to do up the nose for the lateral flow.
Is it just up the nose? Oh,
yeah.
good. I'm not good at sticking things down my throat. I've got a gag reflex like you wouldn't fucking believe.
Would you like some tips?
Surprisingly, whenever you go to the clap clinic, not that I know anything about this, but whenever you go to the clap clinic, before COVID, whenever they used to do all the things for you, they would always laugh at the gay boys going in because apparently the gay boys always gag, and they're like, "You have stuff down there all the time. Why are you gagging?" So yeah,
you bring it to you every Saturday night. What you gagging for?
Yeah, exactly. It's very different though having a swab poking your tonsils.
I think it's because it's so small.
It's so such a size screen.
Like,
so the design, it's a design flaw.
Like
you need like a larger,
like
a larger swab.
Yeah,
the size of a.
It's holding everything back in it once it gets in there. It's like holding all the tonsils back and everything else. Like,
well, there you go. This is not a design show, not a queer gaming podcast.
Well, that certainly was a queer story. Like, let's be honest. I mean, I went for my quarterly checkup because I go every quarter a few weeks ago, and now they just give you the stuff and you go and do it yourself in the bathroom. And I swear they heard me choking that thing from outside. I stuck it in and it went too far in and nearly poked my tonsil out. It was like. I walked out and they were just like dead chill, and I was like, "Oh my god, that was pretty embarrassing. That was quite loud."
Come out with a shame bag, like.
Yeah, my life is just a constant shame bag. Let's be honest.
It's that much of a shame bag. You got a shame bag for life.
I did.
Like,
I did.
Ones that you can just reuse rather than throwing it away every time.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no. Where's Llama gone?
Oh no.
Everybody's gone very greeny.
I know.
Or not greeny, like robotic sounding.
Yeah, everyone's robotic.
Oh no.
Oh,
I've turned my camera off. Did
Oh. Well, now you're just playing musical hosts.
Am I still here?
You're still there. I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Okay. If I turn my camera back
there
on,
we go.
Did that help?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I've had some problems with my dongle. Oh, I'm under Tigger's now. Tiggs, you can be llama. Sorry, I broke your squares. My dongle is breaking on my computer.
I hate it when that happens.
I have a Wi-Fi dongle and it's shit. This morning I had a 1 megabyte upload speed. It's just shit. So I've ordered a new one, but it doesn't come till tomorrow, so it's a bit terrible. We're working on it. We're working on it. We'll be fine.
We'll get.
I got a spare dongle back here if you want it.
I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, literally. Oh, they got to get out now.
Did you get the Love Honey sponsorship?
No.
Haven't they
Oh,
sponsored us yet?
motherfuckers.
Um,
Love
It's in here
Honey,
somewhere.
come to us.
Bussy in the chat. The picture with the Zelda shield. That's my living room, and the 3 Triforce mirrors. That's my living room with the Master Sword because I am that sad
Tiggs is a
or
super
that
nerd.
awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I totally am.
We're fine with that. We like it.
I
Stop
love
going
it.
through your rubbish. You can
I
get your
did.
dinner out
Dongle.
later.
Dongle.
Oh.
Wi-Fi dongle.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you can run it down tonight, or Amazon are going to deliver in the morning.
I mean, I don't think I'm
So
going to be able to
either.
beat Amazon's next day delivery.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're not even trying, so try harder. Jesus.
No.
There was no effort.
Yeah, just
0
rummage
points.
around in a bag.
I know. And then you were like, look what I got.
Yeah.
Not even going to try to bring it to you.
Look what I
Fuck
got,
off.
and you don't have it.
Right? Jesus
I
Christ.
have to be honest. It was a bit like, what is he going to pull out of this bag?
I know.
Mm.
My bag of tricks. My bag
Mhm.
of geeky tricks.
I've heard
It
all
makes
about
me
your bag of
feel-
tricks.
All
It
sorts
makes
of
me
it.
feel like school. Like, look what I got and you can't have it.
No.
And it's funny that it makes me feel like school because today is sort of our school episode. Really.
Yay!
Who was it that came up with this idea? Was this a you, Tiggs, idea when we were having our idea-thon?
No, this was Beauty's idea, I
This
think.
was my idea, yeah.
Well, this was a rather inspired idea. So
I think we need a
today's
snappier name, though. Like,
yeah, well, so the name that I put on the show notes for today was Book Report Day, but for games.
I didn't see the shoe nuts. I've not even looked at them.
I mean, it does what it says on the tin.
Well, I like it.
Yeah.
I quite like it.
Oh, that is brilliant. That's
So, I
absolutely
mean,
brilliant.
before we go into the Book Report Day, but for games show, we've got there's a little bit of housekeeping, I guess. Nothing too super awesome. Just old stuff that we've talked about already. So for housekeeping, then so the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, we are rescheduling that. That's slightly on hold. We had an amazing first session, but slightly on hold while we organize our schedules a little bit. The world is reopening back up, which is great for the world, terrible for our D&D schedule. Come on, guys. No, just kidding. No, it's good news. It's good news, but we do need to reorganize our D&D schedule. Being in 2 different continents and therefore different time zones doesn't help either, but we're working on it. We are working on it. Ophelia Lady Garden will be back along
Please
with
just do a snippet of her voice now, please.
Ophelia Lady Garden will come back and she will Ophelia all the Lady Gardens when she comes. Don't worry. Nobody needs to worry. There will be many Lady Gardens being fielded. It'll be fine.
Oh, I love this. I love it. I love it so
I
much.
can't wait. Oh, the world bot made is so fun.
It is
I can't
fun.
wait to go back and play in it.
Yeah, me too.
The Beardy News Roundup, that is also on hold at the moment because I don't know, something about the hospitality industry opening back up,
Yeah.
Beardy having to do like work and shit. People don't know we have a podcast to do.
No.
Can you just close the hotel?
I mean, if we
Fuck.
could just not have to
Just
do our real jobs and do this instead, that would be fine for me.
Can we just just do side hustles and
Yeah.
not pay mortgages and things?
Oh God, being an adult sucks.
Mortgage. Just kidding. I like my house, so we should keep it.
Yeah.
So those are on hold at the minute while we work out, schedules and things, which is good because, world reopening, that sort of stuff. Great. And the topic for next week's episode is to be confirmed. We have a whole smorgasbord of topic ideas to pick
Is
from.
it something like 70 or something like that? It's nearly 70, isn't it?
We had a bit of a session where we were like, let's just riff ideas, and then Tiggs and Beardy and Sif, I think, went mental.
Idea
And then
38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
think-
just sort of riffed
I
off
mean-
the back of everybody because I don't have original ideas. I just like to twist everybody else's. And it's good.
Regurgitate.
So we've got lots of ideas. We just haven't picked one. But of course, if you've got any ideas or anything that you want to hear us talking about, or not talking about, because tangents, I've literally just now dubbed us the terrible tangent trio.
We are.
Therefore, if you have an idea you'd like us to not talk about,
Yes.
let us know,
Please
and
let
we'll
us
put it
know.
on the list,
Yeah.
and we'll not talk about it for probably 60% of a show.
Mhm.
And that could be
And-
fun for all of us.
Talk about the clap clinic and stuff instead.
Yeah. Fuck knows
I
what
mean,
we'll talk about.
why not? Maybe we should have an
So-
education episode on STIs and their dangers.
We could do that. Yeah, safe sex.
Yeah.
And relate
Safe
it to
sex.
levels in video games.
Oh my
Level
god, that
1.
would be amazing.
Do 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 do.
Like take the symptoms from like the STIs and pair them up with levels in video games.
I think this
Yeah.
could be a winner.
Like the boss level encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This
Ooh,
is good.
that could be
I like
fun.
this. Make
Yeah,
a note
that
of
could be
that, somebody.
Critical hit with
Someone,
antibiotics.
someone write this down.
Imagine that.
Right. This is why we never write any of our ideas down, because we're terrible people.
We are terrible. I went to the pub
So-
yesterday, by the way.
No, we
first
have
time.
to finish housekeeping and then
Yeah,
we'll do that.
shut up, Tiggs.
Right. 3 more seconds. Ready?
I thought you were done.
No, because if you've got any ideas, you have to tell them to us at any
Oh,
of our
yes.
social media stuff, which is all on Gaymers Assemble. We spell it the super gay way, which is GAYMERS Assemble. And that's on Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, all of those things. Find us, tweet at us, talk to us, email us even at gmail.com. And we'll take your ideas on board. And
Tiggs,
probably
what were
even
you
do them.
doing?
I don't know. We're ignoring him. I don't know what that was.
I was spelling
It was
gear
like-
right.
it was like the
E, and then I was trying to do
weirdest-
our
It was like the weirdest cheerleading like sign language I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done with housekeeping. What were you doing at the pub?
We went for food. It was so exciting.
Who'd
It's the
have
first
thought?
time. And we went for food, and then
Is it the first time in like a year that you've been?
no, well, I did go in October to the pub before it all shut. I think end September, start October. But I was out like 3 times last year to the pub. I didn't really go out. So we went out yesterday. Glorious sun. Sat in Manchester Gay Village. If anybody's been there, it's very pretty.
Very gay.
Very gay. Very gay. I mean, I was like, do you guys not know that I'm actually straight? Like, why have you brought me here?
Nobody believed
So
that.
absolutely
No.
nobody believed that.
Not even
Not a
not
single
even the
person.
gangster pigeons with the one leg.
Oh yeah, the
going
ones.
past.
Yeah,
Like what a load of shit.
you gotta watch those guys.
Yeah.
So we had loads of drinks. It was really good fun. Then we had loads of shots. Then I was assholes because I've not drank in in that level at that level for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So then we decided to go to the shop, and I disappeared and left everybody. And they were phoning me, going, "Where are you? Where are you?" And I was like, "I couldn't find you in the shop, and I am really drunk, so I'm going home." So I came home, had a nap, got back up, started drinking, nearly demolished the whole bottle of gin, and at like 1 o'clock went to bed, and it's like, oh, I don't feel so good. And
Regret
wait, so-
cometh.
The
I-
actual Irishman did an actual Irish goodbye, where you just disappeared on everybody halfway through the
Yeah.
session.
it was
Ah!
near the end of the session. Like people were going home.
20 minutes
yeah.
in isn't near the end though, is it?
No,
No, it was. I'd had like 5
No,
pints
you'd
and
had 5 pints.
3 or 4 shots or more. I don't know. Apparently, I had 5 pints. Somebody was counting, and I was like, I'm such a lightweight. Then I had nearly a whole bottle of gin. Got into bed and was like, I don't feel so good. And then I was like, oh, I really don't feel so good. stood up, threw up in my mouth, and tried to swallow it. Wasn't really sure if it was working. I was stood in my bedroom. Harry put my hand over my mouth and run to the toilet. I mean, run. I nearly ran into the banister of my staircase and went over down the stairs. I was that much of a panic to get to the toilet. I was so ill. And I woke up this morning and I actually thought I was dead and I was just having an out of body experience. But I was hella sick. It was not
Terrible,
nice.
Muriel.
So upset that your first thought was to swallow it.
Oh.
I tried.
No,
It was
no,
coming.
no,
It
no,
was
no,
coming through
no,
my fingers.
no. This is not a tangent for the podcast. This is not a tangent for the podcast.
Right. Okay. There's lots of other random stuff that happened. Like, apparently, I called my cats the C word, but made a big cat noise because they always come at the wrong time whenever I'm on a call or something and start meow. But I did it really loud, and apparently all the tables around us stopped what they were doing and looked at me, but I didn't even realize I was that drunk.
Oh, while you were at the pub.
I just sat there and I just went, my cats are, and I was like, all they do is fucking meow really loud, and everybody just stopped and started staring at me, but I didn't even notice. I just continued on with the story. My mates were in hysterics. And
So
this
they're
is
not
why,
going out with you again.
No,
This is why I should not be let
No.
out.
No.
I understand.
Yeah. Just wait till we go to the pub, Beardy.
Oh.
I don't think that would be a very good idea.
To wait till he gets this out of his system and he can be normal-ish
That's
again.
never gonna happen.
I told you pre-show I was dropped in my head as a child. That ain't ever gonna happen.
No.
No. Maybe it's house party drinks then.
I don't know. I don't think I want Tiggs throwing up in his mouth at my house party.
That has never happened to me before.
house
That's the
parties
only
at his
time
house?
it's.
That's what they all say. We'll have a house party. We'll have a house party, but I'm gonna build like a little doghouse in the garden, and that can be Tiggs's house party, and we can just have a house party in the actual house. And I'll just keep sticking my head out every 10 minutes or so. Be like, "You all right, Tiggs? You all right? Would you like a sausage roll?" And just chuck food and
Chuck sausage rolls at him.
he loves it when
That
you
could work.
he loves it when you chuck sausages at him.
Mm.
Like
He doesn't gag with those because they're big enough.
I'm actually crying. I am really crying.
You should be crying with shame.
Where's your shame bag? Turn to the side and lean back.
So I just want to talk about this really traumatic experience where I threw up in
Traumatic,
my
you did it
mouth.
to yourself.
It was one of yous.
Well, in
Right.
a pleasant non-sick related story, I went to the beach today, which
Did
was
you?
lovely. Yeah, I mean you can tell.
What
you
beach is
probably
near
see it, like,
Manchester?
see this angry red patch of
That is
skin
very
here,
red, actually.
like, my ginger being like, no, why did you put me out in the sun, you wanker? So I went to Formby Beach, which is nice. I've never been to Formby Beach before.
Oh yeah, no, I've been to Formby Beach.
It was lovely. I was slightly disappointed because, like, in my head, beach, seaside, like the beach, and like the front shops and the arcades and the fish and chips and like the whatever it is.
And
none
sand.
of that. Yeah, none of that Formby. It's just sand and then woodlands behind it.
Yeah.
So I was fucking starving. I get there, hungry. We walked for like 4.5 hours. It was such a good day though. I do feel super chilled, like just being out in nature with the dog, the sea.
He went dogging in the woods.
He went dogging in the woods. That's what I heard.
Fucking chance to be a fine thing.
For 4 hours.
The only
And
excitement
his
I
hips
got.
hurt.
Yeah, the only excitement I got was when I fucking came down awkwardly on a twig.
Oh, odd word to call him.
A
I thought they were called twinks. I'm not super up on my lingo.
This one would have been
Is that
if
like
it
an
wasn't.
otter
It wouldn't be.
crossed with a...
Well, this one would be a twink if it wasn't for the fact he had like really deep, cavernous, dry skin. So I called him a twig.
Right. Okay. I'm learning on my lingo.
Very barky.
You guys have so much.
Mm.
We do have quite a lot of lingo, I have to be honest.
rainbow. Whole vocabulary. A to Z.
You guys add extra things though that I'm not necessarily aware of whenever we discuss things. I always learn something whenever I'm with you two.
Mm.
Right. Slight detour here. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't want to get demonetized. We're not even monetized. I made a comment pre-show a couple weeks ago about flicking the bean because we're sex positive here.
We
right?
are.
And as the only female on the show at the moment,
As the only resident bean flicker.
as the only resident bean flicker, who is not ashamed. I don't know what motion you made, Tiggs, but it made it very clear that he had no idea where the bean was located. And then we had to have a whole anatomy lesson.
His-
Guys,
The bean is not inside the vagina, was the gist of the lesson.
oh my
His
God.
idea was like, bean? You mean Heinz? Beans mean Heinz.
I am a gold star gay.
It beans.
Right.
Right.
Should we get on with the
yeah.
We're a gaming podcast.
Yeah, seriously though, the pre-show's where it's at. I mean, we should sell tickets to that because it's like after dark, like after 12, adults only.
I love. So Bussy Cartoon just said it's like a little doorbell, and apparently it really hurts if flicked.
Yeah, I mean, don't flick it. No. I mean, some people, consent. It's all about consent. Beardy, not like that.
That's how you do it now.
Do that again. What'd you do?
Slap.
Look, it's all about conversations that are open and honest and gaining consent and trying new things. If that's what they're into and you have consent, then go for it. Don't be springing that on people, Beardy.
Yeah, I've got. Well, I normally shout surprise first. Like surprise.
That's a no from me.
No. Okay. I have
Right,
one last tangent before we get
Jesus
get
Christ.
into the actual episode topic because we're only 30 minutes in, and I'm pretty sure
Right,
this book review is not going to take us very long. So
Everybody wants to talk about beans.
So this whole thing with the football thing, the Super Premier League thing.
Oh yeah, the Super Premier League thing, yeah.
So
That's not paralleling Brexit at all.
no, so we.
Oh no, hang on, I don't know about this.
You don't know about this?
No.
Okay, so there's this thing going on with the Super League.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going on. I have a group chat with some old work colleagues, and the guy that's
Do you want me
in
to
it's
explain
bit
it
of
to
a
you, or
game.
does it need any context?
No. So he says,
Okay.
Lindsay, will you tell me what's going on with the football? Why is everybody kicking off? So I was laughing, saying it's probably the gayest thing I've heard. Lindsay then sends us this voice note explaining everything that goes on and why it's happening and everything else. To which my response was, okay, so it's like Drag Race. So in All Stars, they all get picked because of the talent in their main season, but if they made a Super All Stars that was funded by the drag queens, it wouldn't work because no one would be able to be eliminated and there'd be no lip syncs for your life. Basically, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like that.
Explained.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically, Tiggs, the football clubs are trying to get them to pay a load of money in to make this Super League, but because of that, they would automatically go through to rounds and stuff based on how much money that they were paying into it.
Got ya. Oh yeah. So like,
Yeah.
Only
Pay
the
to-
rich clubs are allowed to play.
Pay to win.
Yeah.
Brought
EA?
back to gaming.
EA? Is EA running FIFA
It's
now?
in the game.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is it EA that's
I don't know. Anyway, topic of the show.
Right.
this a
So,
topic?
yeah, we actually have a fucking topic.
All right, okay.
Having a
I'll be-
flood, ma'am. Yes, Butsy, we're having a flood always.
I saw that and I was like, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I've got notes.
So, you've got notes. Well, the topic of today is it's book report day, but for games. So, book reports, like we are the three of us. I'd say we sort of fall into the category of like elder millennials. I'm probably like the elderest of the millennials in this group. I'm probably on the cusp of like elder millennial Gen X, depending on like which week you want to define it as. So it's been a little while since I think any of us have been required to do a book
I
report.
think it's like elder millennial, Gen
Yeah.
X, dust. Like when
Yeah.
it all intersects in the middle. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
we
yeah.
are.
That's us
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Hashtag gorge. We're just gorge.
Gorge. So were
Yeah.
you guys were you into book reports when you were in school? Were you like the ones that like waited till the last minute to do your book reports? Were you brown nosers like me that like read the book, wrote like the big book report? What were you?
Oh, I don't know if like drinking has killed some brain cells here, but I don't remember doing book reports.
Is that not an English thing?
I don't think. I mean, we did things that was like you'd read Romeo and Juliet and like answer a load of questions and stuff about it. Like, but there was never like a thing where you would read a book and kind of come back and talk about it, like a book club type thing.
What about Northern Ireland, Tiggs? Did you have to do book reports in Northern Ireland, Tiggs?
That's quite good, that accent,
It's
actually.
all right, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's really good.
I do it in my book sometimes.
Sometimes we do. Sometimes we did things where we did discuss books, but I vaguely remember it like it was a long time ago.
I feel
But
like
we
the
did
last,
do
the last one I did
this-
was the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah, it's called the Thirsty Thirsty Beardy. Don't go there. I see the cogs turning.
Punch me.
Don't.
Punch me.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
See, we had to do book report. Maybe it's an American thing then. We
I
had to
think
do
it
book
is.
reports. And I was the big nerd that they would be like, right, you have a week to read this book. And then you have to write like 500 words about what this book was about. And I'd have read that book on day fucking one. And then I'd have written like 2,000 words and still be going strong because I had fucking feelings about the book. And then I'd have to be like paring it back because the teacher was like, you can't hand me this fucking file of facts full of words. You need to be like, so I was a nerd when it came to it. And I'm still a nerd. That's fine. But I struggled with this game. I'm not going to lie.
Same.
So with the game that we picked just for everybody, and we announced it last week, and it was on, so we picked Zombie Army 4 Dead War, and this was on Xbox Game Pass, and it was also on whatever the PlayStation version of that shit is, and I always forget the name of it.
It was
PS
a
Plus.
free game with PlayStation Plus, yeah.
That's it. So we announced it last week on the show, and we're like, look, everybody go out. If you want to play it, come back. If you want to talk about it in the chat, let's talk about it in the chat. Let's do like our book report. We'll come together and we'll talk about the game. What did we like? What did we not like? What could have made it awesome? Blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about it. So we've been playing it this week. I know Tiggs and I tried to do crossplay on it and then figured out it didn't fucking work. So we just talked shit for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't play the game.
We didn't play the game that night. It was just like, oh, yes, and what you doing?
Tangent. We went on a tangent for like an hour and a half.
Jesus, that was a good tangent, though.
It was
good. Really good, yeah.
But yeah. So that's the book report. Zombie Army 4 Dead War.
Yeah.
What did we think? Let's start off with the positives. What did we really like about the game?
I liked that I could turn it off.
Beardy, do you want to say what you did with this game?
Beardy going in hot?
What did I do with this game?
Mm-hmm.
Not enjoy it.
How long did you play it?
I can't remember. Was it like an hour and a half, 2 hours or something? If that.
The group chat was lit that day.
Yeah.
Huh?
This game, turned it on, turned it off. I'm not fucking playing that again.
Yeah.
I sat here and pissed myself when
Yeah.
I saw that.
I'm not what I like generally, I don't normally like give up on a game so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It usually takes me a little bit of time to kind of like play through it and stuff and kind of get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm not having fun. Like, I don't want to play this anymore. By the end of chapter 1, by the end of like, so it opens up and stuff, there's like a train crash and you have to climb on the train and kind of follow it up. By the time I got to that point, I was like, I'm not having fun with this game. Like, I'm not enjoying it. I don't like it. And I tried to push through it, thinking that maybe there'd be like something that would bring me into it later on, but no.
Okay. Strong words.
Mm.
I know. Like, where'd you go
So
from
what
here?
was there anything about it that you did like?
That I could turn it off.
Just that you could turn
No.
it off.
I
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought that the sniper elite kind of element that they had in there, where like there was like the bullet time and it kind of went through and you saw the blood and guts and like the and, like brains everywhere and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
That was cool.
That was cool. But other than that, I think that was the only thing that had going for it.
Did you know that if you use that sniper thing and the bullet time where it slows it down, I accidentally shot somebody in the balls and it does like a little X-ray thing
Yeah.
and you can see the ball back.
Yeah.
And the bullet going through and it's like,
Yeah.
I sat on the couch and was like, oh my god, that is fucking brilliant.
That was genuinely the highlight of the game for me. Was this slow down Matrix-esque like X-ray mechanic, which is I think it's from Sniper Elite, but I'm pretty sure that this game is based on a mod from Sniper Elite anyway.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what, I mean, could they have added something to it to make it better? Or is it just a lost cause for you?
No. So I think for me, yeah, it is a spin-off of the Sniper Elite series. So you get to the opening credits. Opening credits, yeah, the opening thing.
Yeah.
Playing it through, it's doing its thing. It's setting up like World War II and Hitler, obsessed with the occult, turns people into zombies and they're gonna rise up and everything else and like all that kind of stuff. The thing that played through got me in. Like, okay, this seems.
Yeah.
Where it lost me was when it brings you to like the menu. You start up and you start a new game and everything else, and you kind of like almost presented with a Dead by Daylight style thing of being like, pick your character, pick your loadout, like pick the perks, blah blah blah. But at this point, I've not played the game, so I don't know who these people are. I don't know what these guns do. I don't know what these perks do. Like, I don't know anything about this character or anything that's going on. So, like, why am I picking them? What am I picking these guns for? No idea. I didn't even realize that the first gun in your so you've got like a main gun, secondary gun, and then a sidearm. And the main gun is just a collection of like sniper rifles, which I didn't realize. I just thought it was like an old school like gun. It wasn't until I got into the game and I went to go press the trigger to line up my sights. I'm like, fuck, it's a sniper rifle. And I didn't realize that was the case because normally sniper rifles are like your specialty weapon and would normally take up like the second slot in a game. Anyway, so cutscene finishes whatever. It drops you in. Is it Belgium?
I don't know,
Somewhere. Maybe like France or something. And you got these zombies and stuff. And I'm genuinely I'm there, I'm like, why am I here? I don't understand. Like, what's going on? What is my character's but there was like a very loose thread of story, and I'm sure these games aren't designed to be like this like narrative driven story that's going to blow your mind of how good it is, but I felt like the setup wasn't there to kind of get me invested in the character, what's going on, like all those kind of things. I think if they'd done that a little bit better, I might have been in it a little bit more. I kind of felt like I was being dropped in halfway through a story.
Yeah. I did
Um,
wonder if because it was like Zombie Army 4, if maybe like 1 through 3 explained it and I was just lost because I didn't know what the fuck happened in 1
could
through
be.
3.
That could be a
Mm,
very, very good point. But I feel like for an IP like this, where maybe the story's not the most forefront point of the game, there needs to be a jumping off point.
Mm.
Like,
mm,
you look at something like Tomb Raider, for example. Every single of the remade Tomb Raiders is their own contained story, but like they'll hark back to things from previous games, and if there's like a point that's pinnacle to that story that comes from another game's thread, they'll show that. Same with like Last of Us Part 2. You play the Last of Us Part 2, you get to a point where you're looking back at actions taken in the first game, but if you've not played the first game, they kind of explain what that was in the cutscenes and everything else leading up to you starting the game. It's like a little recap at the beginning. I just think on that front it was a bit poor storytelling. And I know it's not supposed to be like this sprawling narrative, but the setup just wasn't there. Like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know who this person is. Like, it's just almost just dropped you in and just shoot zombies.
Yeah, and I think I mean I had exactly the same thought at the beginning. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And when I got to the loading screen, I was looking at it going, uh what?
Mm.
Well,
I got
whenever I
really
got
excited when I thought I could pick my characters and like I was like, "Oh, is it a character like customization screen?" And then it wasn't. And then I thought, "Oh, I can pick a hat. I can pick what hat my person wears." Or I don't think I could pick an outfit, but I could pick what hat they wore.
yeah.
Uh, and I could pick which of the two girl characters I wanted to play. Um, but yeah, I couldn't figure out what the perks were or what the guns were or what I wanted what I needed to do in the beginning. So yeah, no, I agree with you. I didn't the story, I couldn't understand what I was doing or why. And I'm sitting here kind of struggling to figure out in my own head whether they should or not. Whether they should have a story. Because it sort of has a story, but
It
it's
does
not
have.
very it does like it kind of tells you a little bit of a story, doesn't it? But it
It tells
doesn't
you the story at the start, but then whenever you play through, because how far did you get, Lama?
I did the first 2 chapters.
So whenever you get a bit further in, I think it's like at the end of chapter 2 or start of chapter 3. Did you see the big demon sort of tower thing?
No.
So this is whenever it starts to get more. There's these demon towers, and that's where the zombies are coming from, and all this sort of crack, and you have to like shut down these demon towers. And it does sort of develop as you go further into the game. It's not like an instant hook. I understood the storyline at the start, like you were just giving you all the backdrop to Hitler and everything. And whenever we hit the loadout screen, I was like, oh, similar to you guys, I was like, oh, what's this all about? And then,
Hold on. I made a rule. I forgot to tell you.
well,
We're not calling him Hitler just because I don't like him. So we're gonna call him Shitler.
Shitler.
If he comes
Mm.
up, we're just gonna call him
Yeah.
Shitler.
Okay.
Okay. So I got all this stuff about Shitler
Mhm.
and what he was doing and understood the backdrop. But whenever I hit the load screen, I was like, right, what's going on? So I read everything because I'm like, you character select takes me like 20 million years. And I was like, I just need to get into this game, so just pick the guy that I think looks fit.
I mean, that's what I went with in the end as well, yes.
Any game where there's character creation, you can guarantee my character I will fancy them. Because I am weird.
On a little side note there, did you all find it was really confusing as well that there was only like 3 people you could actually choose from, but then there was like a list of 12? But like some of them you couldn't click on because they were DLC.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
whole loads of sections with guns and stuff, and that if you wanted it, you had to pay 25 quid or
Yeah.
whatever. Like and it wasn't like cheap DLC either. It wasn't like, oh, just
No.
pay a fiver for this gun. It was like pay 25 quid for this DLC,
Yeah, no
and I was like,
thanks. That's
no.
not on sale. My wife will kill me.
Yeah, but it was. I sort of got it, but it just wasn't like. And I liked it. I liked certain elements in it. What I think that they did really well was like near the start. Do you know whenever you got to your first safe house? Did you see the zombie shooting range?
Yes.
Oh my god, that was insane. So it was like for anybody that's not played it yet, it's like this little like fairground, and it's instead of like the moving targets, there's fucking zombies pinned, and you just shoot the shit out of them. Oh, it was so funny. It was really. I thought that was brilliant. I sat
There was
laughing my
quite a
tits
lot of
off.
funny shit in there. There's quite a lot of funny shit in there. And the graphics, I really liked the graphics.
Mm.
And the bullet time thing, it never occurred to me to shoot anybody in the knob to see if I could get the x-ray of their balls as it went through.
That was an
Uh,
accident, to be honest.
was
Like I'm
it?
just a really bad
Was
shot.
it?
Gay boy always aiming for the same area, aren't we?
Yeah. No, in Tiggs, he was probably
Here I
like,
am
"Ooh."
trying to get headshots, and Tiggs is like, I'm gonna shoot him in the balls.
Tiggs probably
Hey,
saw him
that's a
through the
different
scope
sort of
and was
headshot.
like, "For a dead guy, he's pretty fit. Like, let's see if we can get any VPL." Oh, nutsack.
No. I was watching something this week. Have you ever watched Solar Opposites? I found out a term that I never heard before.
Uh-oh, go on.
BDE. Have you heard of it?
Big dick energy.
Yeah, I never heard
Yeah.
about that before. It's like, oh my god, this is amazing. So some of them zombies might have had some BDE, bitch.
Oh god, Tiggs. We're gonna need to like level you up.
I know.
Oh,
I'm.
I'm prescribing cold showers for the next 7 days, twice a day.
Why?
What do you mean why?
By the end of it, you'll understand.
Okay. I will have a cold shower tomorrow then. And I'll send you a voice message after of me going, you fucking dick!
He'll have LDE after that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the moment-to-moment combat. I thought it was a bit sluggish.
Yeah,
Mm.
it was.
The waves of zombies as well. I felt at certain points it was just like felt a bit laborious, like waiting for them to kind of like fall down from the roof or whatever. So
Yeah.
you'd be like in an area and it'd be a classic like clear the area to move on to the next bit. It'd be like fight these waves of zombies, and you'd kill a load of zombies, and you're like, when's the next wave coming? And then that would turn up, and you'd be like, okay, kill. Next wave coming, like. There was a section towards the end of the train station, you know, like when hell's opening up from the floor and everything else, and there's like the roof, they're dropping down off the roof, and like I got to this point where it was like kill 6 more to open the demonic door thing to move on to the next
Yeah.
area, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
there's literally not a zombie in sight. Like I don't know where they are. I've killed them all. All the ones that are wandering around, they're all dead, and then. I went up the stairs onto like the roof thing, and I heard them like screaming or whatever it is they did. And I just happened to look up to see that the final 6 were just stuck on the roof.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're just there like just like this. Like just not doing anything, and I'm like, oh, there they are. So I just shot them, and then the thing opened, and it just felt like I was forcing myself to like move forward in the game rather than being compelled to move forward in it.
Yeah. It does get quite difficult though, you know, you've got those suiciders that run at you and blow up.
Yeah.
Llama's favorite
Fuck
favorite
them.
enemy. But then later on you get these other things that are like they're like super zombies almost, and they have like a twitch. I don't really know how to explain it. They sort of have a stutter whenever they move. and they just come fucking running at you from
Nope,
everywhere.
nope. I'll turn it off. I don't want to play with them.
Yeah, they were, and then in the last bit the bit where you had to do the big tower thing, you had flamethrower dudes, like big
Oh,
fucker.
I saw them on the videos. Yeah, no
Yeah,
thanks.
they had those guys, the suiciders, and those fuckers that just ran at you
Yeah.
from everywhere, and it just got a bit like unmanageable then whenever you were on your own. Um, where I think this game could actually be a lot of fun, and we did try to do it, is if we just all jumped on and just talked shit and played. Like that is the sort of game where you don't have to pay too much attention to the in-game mechanics.
Mm.
It You can sort it out if you want to just have a blast with your mates
Mm-hmm.
and just talk crap and have a nice evening or have a few beers whilst you're doing it. I think this would be the perfect game for that. And there is wit in there. And there's a few. The thing that I did like about this is that they had a lot of nice little subtle touches. So the devs put some thought into like little Easter eggs that people would like. So for instance, if you these are minutes, the typewriter at the start, if you press the typewriter, it says sometimes dead is better, but no other typewriter does that. And in chapter two, it's so disturbing. You go into the toilet, it's just safe house or something. There's toilets near a safe house or something. You go into the toilet, you can flush the toilet, but in every toilet there's like a doll's head. And it's fucking creepy. So whenever the water drains, you just see this doll's head. It's really freaky. And my favorite thing that I saw in there was whenever you go through into one of the safe houses again. I can't remember what level this was on now. On the wall, do you know the thing in Stranger Things with the lights and the
Mm-hmm.
letters? They've
Mm.
done that in the wall.
That's cool.
So like, yeah, I got bored in the end and just turned it off. Like I would have played more if I
Mm-hmm.
played with someone. But in saying that, I really enjoyed the humor because it was just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed those little touches because it was like, that's actually like someone's put some thought in there. You know, it's these pop culture like Easter egg references to for people to, just look at it and smile if you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, you'll just think it's weird that it's there. So I sort of like that about it.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's an audience for this because this is the fourth game, so people must enjoy it. Like, and it must be doing well for itself. I checked the Metacritic, and I think it's like in the 70s.
I mean, I think you're right. I think it's a good game for playing with friends, that sort of cross play, go on, just blow shit up. Almost in that sort of Doom style, just
Yes.
run around and shoot the shit out of things. Not a lot of You don't need a lot of strategy, you don't need a lot of thinking about it. Just go in and shoot shit. And
It's a
I think where
7.2 on
they
Metacritic, by the way.
yeah, yeah. And I think if they could have y- if that crossplay thing could be sorted, that could be really fun.
Yeah.
That could be really fun because at the minute, if it's what did we reckon? It's basically Steam, really like a PC sort of
Yeah, it
crossplay
was
enabled thing.
PC crossplay. It was Steam and something else that they allowed it to be able to be crossplayed on because we did extensive
Yeah,
research.
extensive research we did. We
Extensive.
googled it twice.
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
was on the way home and said to Lama, "Where are you stuck? Do you want to play?" Yeah, sure. I'll check. I says, "I'll check if it's crossplay later." Lama's like, "Oh, I've checked. It's crossplay." I get home and I'm like, "Hang on a second. I don't see like." There's no way I can invite Llama to this, or how can she invite me? And then I started Googling. I was like, "You sure this is crossplay, right?" Yeah, I Googled it. I said, "Well, I just Googled it, and it's told me that it's only crossplay for PC."
it said, "Is it crossplay?" Yes, and then I didn't read the rest of the sentence. So we were both right. It is crossplay enabled with not
On
Xbox.
selected platform.
how
I
how important is crossplay? Do you think?
I think as time goes on, in this brave new world that we find ourselves in, I think crossplay is vital for
I
any
agree.
game nowadays. I
Hmm.
think it is an absolute must have. If devs and game publishers, they want to have the widest audience possible for their games, and you're only going to get that by having crossplay. And that's not just Xbox and PlayStation, that's Steam too. You need to have as many people as possible able to play together. And if I can only play with people on Xbox and half my friends are on PlayStation and the other half of my that man bear pig, the other half of my friends are on. It's my South Park reference. Did nobody get it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I did get Man Bear Pig. Sorry.
Fuck's sake, guys.
I'm hungover. There's a delayed reaction to it.
If half my friends are on PlayStation and then the other half of my friends are on Steam and the other half of my friends are on Xbox, then that doesn't work. It has to be crossplay enabled. It's just a requirement these days. And they're just gonna have to figure it out. It has to be done.
I think
Yeah, that really
especially
pissed me
for
off.
live service games,
Absolutely.
I think it depends on certain games and certain play styles and stuff. Like I don't think it's essential for every single game to have it, but definitely those with more multiplayer elements and the live service element. Like for sure.
Cross
For
chat,
shizzle.
like party chat, in-game chat, that one's a bit different for me. I think I don't tend to use it generally because in-game chat is a fucking toxic cesspit. As soon as I open my mouth, oh my god, you're a girl? Ugh! Go get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich.
Oh,
Ugh!
seriously?
Oh my god, yeah. As soon as you open your mouth and anyone realizes you're a girl, like 12-year-olds start telling you all the inappropriate sexual things they're going to do to you. It's terrible. So I
That's
generally
grim.
don't use any in-game chat unless I'm playing with my friends or like people I know, or if I'm in a clan or things like that. And for that, I'll generally use Discord or Messenger or whatever, like other things, or Xbox Party Chat or whatever. So I don't really care about in-game chat because number one, it's normally shit. And number two, it's normally toxic. And number three, I can use Discord. So I don't really care about that.
I think that PlayStation and Xbox needs to start looking at getting Discord onto the consoles because the crossplay thing's great, but there's so many times where, like when we played Outriders, for example, me and Tiggs on PlayStation, you on Xbox, we couldn't use the in-game chat, so then we had to have Discord open on our phones, earphones, blah blah blah, to be able to
earphone like underneath our little gaming headsets to try and talk.
Which is a bit of a pain in the ass, and it should be that difficult, especially if your game is touting crossplay.
Yeah,
then the chat needs to be crossplay as well.
See, I had that where, so I was playing with one of my mates, and she was on Xbox afterwards after the game released, and I was on PlayStation. So, but I have an Xbox as well. So I was on my PlayStation, my PS5, had my Xbox headset on, and that turned on, and party chat with her playing on my PlayStation. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And every like 20 minutes, my control pad would go off. And I'd be sitting chatting. I'd be like, hello, where have you gone? Hello. And then I'm like, oh, you idiot, your control pad's gone off again.
I know. And Xbox or Microsoft were in talks to buy Discord, weren't they? But that's just they've stopped those talks today or something, haven't they?
I don't think something like Discord really should be owned by one of the bigs.
No, Discord have pulled out.
It's just it's just gonna be like, oh, Discord's now included in Game Pass Ultimate ×2 XL edition, like, and then it's never gonna then come to PlayStation or Nintendo. Like Nintendo's chat system for the Switch, like, sort that out. Jesus Christ, you have to have the app on your phone, like, and then there's only certain games that have it allowed, like, and then you've got to be playing the game too. Oh, it's just,
I think it's
ridiculous.
Like
but in the adverts, the adverts, they make it look really easy.
Oh yeah, it is a pain in the fucking ass. But I think they do that because they don't want kids to be, they're very family orientated, and they didn't want the griefing to go on they want to be like a family thing, but they've just alienated a whole load of people that want to talk to each other and play
Yeah,
games.
and 100%, I understand that. So, verify with a credit card. Like,
Yeah.
if you've got an account, like verify with a credit card. If you're only buying vouchers or whatever it is, like whatever parental controls, all that kind of stuff, you can turn it off. Like, it's not an issue. But for those of us that aren't 12-year-olds playing Platoon, that we want to like get together with our friends and play a game. Why
Mm.
not allow us to be able to do it easily? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I understand where they're coming from, and I think Microsoft and PlayStation and Nintendo should really take a kind of look at the chat systems and everything else, and maybe have it something in there under parental settings or something within like the Sony account that you have to go in and verify something or put an age in there or whatever it is to kind of track things down, to be able to enable it. But the Nintendo system's really bad. Just getting back to this game,
Right.
very randomly, did anybody else? Because I've never played Zombie Army before, never played any of the other 3 games. Never mind this one.
Same.
My expectation was Doom meets Wolfenstein, but third person.
I sort of thought Wolfenstein vibes. That was sort of. I didn't really think about the Doom thing, to be honest,
Yeah.
but the Wolfenstein thing did pop into my head. I think it's the art style or something, or
Well, I just kind of
it
thought
was.
it was going to be very like fast paced, like zombies coming at you, like, and like that power fantasy of being the Doom guy, of being able to like fucking take all these guys down and everything else. Like, thought that was going to be in it.
BFG.
But like the Wolfenstein thing comes from the World War II alternate history, that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that led to some of my disappointment as well, because it didn't meet either of those expectations in the slightest.
Subvert your standard expectations. That's true, because you do go into a sort of Nazi zombie genre. How the fuck that's even turned into a genre? I don't
It is. It really is. There's a film and everything,
It's
isn't there, as well?
there's
I
a
think I tried to
whole
watch it one night.
there's a whole thing. And you do sort of there's expectations when you go into that realm, and Sniper Elite
It's not.
isn't
No.
what I expected. And maybe that's on me because I'm old. And that wasn't what I expected. I expected Wolfenstein, Doom, running around, blowing the shit out of things, throwing grenades, BFGs, like just rocket launchering, like shit. Like that's, with like a banging death metal soundtrack. Like
Yeah.
that's just sort of what I expected. And it wasn't anything like that. And that wasn't a terrible thing. But, when you go in expecting champagne and instead you get fizzy water, it doesn't matter if you like fizzy water. You're like, oh, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah,
I
no,
hate fizzy water, by
I
the
just
way.
kind of think like for that setup, I don't know why, I just had it in my head that you were gonna just be this like super cool Nazi killing zombie monster slayer guy
Bernie
running
Sanders.
around, yeah, just running around and getting like
Nice.
every getting your hands on all the weapons and laying traps and blowing shit up and just kind of like having fun. It just being like over the top, unrealistic, just craziness, but like with the gameplay and some form of narrative kind of holding it together.
I didn't feel like the traps really did much of anything.
No.
I stopped picking them up in the end because I was like, these are shit. Like even the grenades weren't a lot, but at least I felt like I was doing a little bit with those.
And even like the environmental traps. Like we'd like shoot the thing and it spins and then electric comes out the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
Like by the time like I lined it all up, they were already halfway across it anyway and just like kind of just stumbled through.
Yeah. I don't think it was my favorite game. And I think that was evidenced by the fact that I was forcing myself to play it for the last 2 weeks, and I wasn't super enjoying it. The part that was making me enjoying it Hi, I'm TJ, and I speak English for a living. Uh,
Excellent.
Sometimes I use my
Right.
words in the correct order.
Sometimes I don't. The part that I was enjoying was I picked Shona as my character, and oh my god, that girl had some arms on her. They were hot. Oh, she was good looking. And I liked playing third person for her because oof, I could look at her all day. So
We
that
are
was nice.
so naughty.
Do you know what I think it's really
I know.
interesting as well? So whenever we've done this kind of stuff in the past, like when we played the Avengers thing, or we played games or talked about games or anything like that, there's usually like one of us doesn't like it, one of us is okay with it, and one of us. That's usually kind of like how it goes.
That's very true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And I think it's really interesting this time around we play this game, and all three of us are like, no,
No,
boot
yeah,
it,
not really.
delete it. I want to go back in time and do the episode, you know, where like you delete the games
Yeah.
or whatever,
Yeah.
forever, and put Zombie Army 4 on there.
Yeah, we would have all deleted this.
I've already deleted it off my PlayStation, like it's gone,
Yeah.
taking up space. Who does it think it
But you
is?
see, this week I was like, oh, I need to do this from a book report. I need to play this from a book report. And I was like, but I could be playing Assassin's Creed. Why am I playing this? I need to do my book report. I need to do my book report. And look, there was some redeeming things, and some things were nice. I think we just need to have a Friday night sesh, loads of beers, play that game, talk crap. That's what you need. That's what that game's good for. Like in my mind, and
The
that's all I
co-op
thought.
mode would save it. I
Yeah,
think the co-op mode would save it if it was crossplay and I could play it with my friends. But the
yeah.
fact that I can only play it with my Xbox friends because I'm on Xbox, and not all my Xbox friends play it. So it's, it's you again, you've what's the word I'm looking for?
Restricted.
I've segregated my data set down too far. My audience is too small. I need to be doing crossplay so that I've got a larger audience. Especially if my DLCs are 25 fucking quid.
Yeah, it was 25 quid, wasn't
There
it?
There was so much about that whole menu system and everything else that was so confusing. One health pack? What the fuck's that all about?
That fucked me off.
You carry
But did you
one at a
know?
time.
Did you know? So I didn't work this out till way later. So I was running around trying to conserve my health. So if you use particular killing things, you get health back. But also, some enemies have bullets, but some have health packs. And I didn't realize that there was a difference. There was a little plus plus plus. I never noticed that. I just thought it was all bullets. So I was keeping my health pack, dying loads, and just like respawn, doing it again with full health, not realizing that the fuckers dropped health packs anyway. What
Which
a dick.
I didn't
strikes me
realize
as
they dropped health
so
packs.
strange because, like, if you can only carry one health pack, but then all the enemies are going to keep dropping them, why not just let me pick up a couple more?
Or just auto use my health pack if I run over one.
Yeah. No, not for me. It's been deleted. I'd rather not play it again. I'm not looking forward to Zombie Army 5.
Gonna wipe it from my memory.
Yeah.
Except for Shona, she's got a special place in my heart because girl, them arms. Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately, on my playthrough, Zombie Shitler won and took over because I didn't stop him.
Fuck Shitler. Yeah, it's a no from me. I'm gonna delete that off my PlayStation now.
Yeah. Although I like the format. I like the idea of doing a book report day, but for games.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just need to pick a different game that's available on PS Plus.
To be fair, that's the beauty of it because we don't know. We're picking games that we've never played before. Like
yeah.
To get a real honest view about something rather than
It's true. It's not a game I would have picked on my own.
Rather than picking something that's like what?
Beauty did it. Beauty
did it.
Rather than picking something that we know we're gonna enjoy, because like it'd just be pretty boring if every time we did this it was like we played this game and we loved it, yay!
Look, it's Mass Effect again.
Yay!
Yeah.
Don't let me pick.
But then, look, at the end of the day, like what I liked about doing this exercise was, so I like complete a game and then move on to another game.
Mm-hmm.
But I now have like several games on the go. And it's
And so it
taking me back.
begins.
I know it's taking me back to the days when I was a kid because I used to have like so many games playing at the same time. And then you get to near the end of every one and you just be like click 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 click, they're all done now. Like really fast at the
Yeah.
end. But you've been playing for months. And I like the fact that I started doing that again whenever we started doing this. And I'm like, oh, I've got several games to go now. Like this is pretty cool. Just as long as I don't forget the fucking storyline, because that's why I only do one at a time, because I go back to the other game and I'm like, I have no clue what's just happened. I'm losing the magic here.
So
Yeah.
Gamers Assemble's verdict is don't bother playing it.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
unless
Unless you're
you're a
already
big
into
Sniper
that.
Elite
Yeah.
fan. Yeah, if you're a big Sniper Elite fan, then this is definitely a game for you.
Yeah,
And I think if I played Sniper Elite like beforehand and then came to this and was like, "Oh, look, a zombie twist on Sniper Elite." Like I'd fucking love this.
true.
But because I came to it thinking, "Ah, like a zombie twist on Wolfenstein, this is going to be amazing." And it wasn't. I disappointed myself.
Yeah.
As a final thought before we go into like what you've been playing,
Mm.
do you think that this game put you off playing Sniper Elite?
Sniper
quite-
Elite's not my thing anyway.
I kind of liked the sniper shots. Like whenever I play games like Destiny and things like that, I generally play as a sniper. So I quite liked the sniper mechanic
Hmm.
in this game. So I actually think now that you've said it's a spin-off of Sniper Elite, I might go pick that up and give it a try.
Six?
No, I'm not a sniper. Sorry.
For me, it's actually put me off Sniper Elite because I just think
Really?
because I think to myself like if I know it's a spin-off or whatever, but like if Sniper Elite is anything like this game, like the menu system, the confusion, like
Oh, yeah.
the poor gameplay mechanics, like all that kind if it's anything like that and the only thing it's got going for it is this cool like X-ray fatality style sniper shots. No, I'm alright, thanks. I'll
Well, see, I'm thinking
pass.
maybe I can go back and pick up like Sniper 1, like
Maybe.
where they haven't done all that yet and just like play it old school.
Yeah.
That's my plan that I've just made up.
Oh yeah. It was a bit B movie esque. I got very B movie vibes.
Fine by me. But
Like a good B movie.
this is like a fucking D
A pretty
movie.
executed one D movie. Oh yeah.
Dead movie. No. No.
I think Beardy wants us to stop.
I've gone inside myself a little.
Beardy's got LD.
Oh god.
So I think it's a no from us.
No, definite no.
Fine. So that's an end to our first book report. We all hated it. Thanks, we hated it. That's our verdict. Thanks, we hated it. Well, that's fine. I don't mind.
Shit happens.
We'll get a better game next time. Or we'll get a different game anyway, and we'll see if we like it.
Yeah, it's
Like
fun.
you said, it's not a game I would have picked on my own. It was fun to try something new.
And it was definitely fun to try something new. Speaking of trying something new, guess what I downloaded last night?
Oh God, OnlyFans.
No.
Chat roulette.
No.
Omega.
Resident Evil. Stop guessing. Resident Evil 8
You
Village
said
demo.
yes.
Oh really?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to try it or not.
You've only got 8 hours from 6 p.m. this evening.
It's a timed demo.
Oh.
Yep. So
Look at his little face.
They did so PlayStation had early access. So last weekend was the Village demo. And you could play last Sunday from 6 p.m. UK time in an 8-hour window. So between 6 p.m. and 2 a.m. I think it was. That's 8 hours, isn't it? You get a 30-minute section to play of the Village section. So there's a timer. Once 30 minutes is hit, that's it. You boot it out. You can't play anymore, complete or not. And then this weekend or today is the castle section. So this is when Lady Big Tit Vampire comes a stomping and looking for you. And then next weekend is the full 60-minute demo. So you get 60 minutes to play through the village and the castle, and then the game comes out. So I played the village.
Yeah, how
section.
was it? Was it scary?
Yes and no. So
Face is terrified.
I am
Yeah.
terrified.
So the whole thing is beautiful. Like the RE engine is just chef's kissing it all over the place. It's a really, really pretty looking game. The only bit that got scary was when you get into this section where the lichens come. And you go into like this field, and they're kind of like in the field, and they pop out at you, and like there's grass and everything else, which was a little bit terrifying. But other than that, that was the only thing that happened. There was no like boss fight or anything like that. It was very cutscene heavy, which I realized going into it. So I just started skipping all the cutscenes for two reasons. One, I only had 30 minutes to play this demo, and two, I didn't really want to know anything to do with the story because I kind of want to go into the main game. Like, because what they did with Resident Evil 7, the demos that they put out for that were all independent of the main game, so it didn't actually give anything to do with the story out. So there was the kitchen demo, which is the VR thing, which had nothing to do with the main game, and then the haunted house demo that they did, which was like in Resident Evil 7 they do this thing where you find videotapes and it like shows you something that happened in the past, but it gives you like a preview of what happened, how to solve the next area. So they did something like that, but they took out all the elements that related to the VHS that you find in the game. So the act of like escaping the house is the same, but they changed a few things here and there. Whereas this time around, they did the Maiden demo. I don't know if you played the Maiden demo, Tiggs. Play that. That's pretty good. So that's like what they did with Resident Evil 7. So it was this nondescript character who's trying to escape from the castle. But this demo, you're picking up as Ethan and you're running through story beats in the village and then in the castle as well. Kind of like wanted to stay away from the storylines of things. I'm excited for the castle because Lady D's going to be coming after me.
Are you going to play it? Are you going to play it tonight then?
Yeah.
Top me.
Did you just say top me?
Literally,
did.
yeah. I wanted to smother me with her boobs.
Absolutely.
Like,
okay.
Suffocate me, mama.
Am I the only one that's not like?
I am so into her.
I think she's awesome, but I don't want her to do anything sexy with me.
At this point in lockdown, even this beer bottle's looking good.
Oh, Beardy, I need to take you out whenever we get a bit less restricted. Take you out in the town.
Do you think less restricted is what I need right now?
Oh my god.
So play it, Tiggs, play it.
Okay, I'll give it I'll play it. It's only half an hour that you can play
only
for.
30 minutes that you can play for, yeah?
Right, I hope my neighbours are ready because they're going to hear some really heavy screaming.
And leave your headphones on for 3D audio.
Oh no, you can fuck right off. There's no way. I'm not doing that.
Do it.
Do it. No, knowing me, knowing you probably fucking just pop into chat as you see me playing it and start like saying things and then shit myself. I'm not doing it.
Do it.
I don't know if I can. Like, I've got nobody to sleep with tonight. Gigi might not come to bed with me because he's
not after you nearly vomited on him last night.
Exactly. So, seeing as though you downloaded that and didn't play it, like, what have you actually been playing?
Oh yeah, mainly this. Mainly this, and I played some Outriders, and I sort of got a bit bored of Outriders because it's, and I don't know if this is my skill level, but as you go up the world tiers and you're on your own, It's just too hard.
Mm.
So then, but if you want the gear, you need to keep the world tier high.
Why do you think
So
I kept it on like tier 2? I'm
yeah, but
having fun on my baby gear.
you don't get. Oh well, yeah.
The gear stays low, but so
Alright.
does the world. I'm having fun.
But I want the nice shiny stuff. Anyway, that was too intense. So I had Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It's the
Ah,
first Assassin's Creed I've played in ages. And fuck me, that game is pretty.
mm.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
no load times in PS5. No nothing. PS5 is amazing. Like I'm sure the Xbox Series X is the same with zero load times and everything. I've heard, but just whenever you get onto your next gen console and you have that experience, your heart will sing a little song going, "This is fucking amazing. I cannot believe this. Look at where we came from, if you're an older gamer like us guys, to where we are now of zero load times." It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
Don't be
um,
fooled by the SSDs that I got. I'm still the gamer from the block.
Oh my
whoop,
god.
whoop, 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 whoop.
Don't. He's gonna start working on the Christmas song if you keep doing that.
I had to, we can't do the Christmas song I had for last year because it was all about COVID, wasn't it? I'll have to work on another Christmas song for this year.
Told you. Here he goes.
Oh yeah. Don't you worry.
You
I'll put it
mentioned
out early.
you mentioned Christmas, so
Yeah. So yeah, no,
um
that's what I've been playing. It's really good. I've not got to sex any boys yet, because I said to myself whenever I started playing this game, Tiggs, stick to the story and get through the game because it's a really long ass game. And
There's
then,
always time. Always. There's always time for sexing the boys.
well, I haven't got to a point of where I can sex the boys because I went off and did all the fucking side quests, didn't I? I was like, I won't do this to myself. I won't do this to myself. I'll just play the main storyline. No. Oh, look! Look over there!
yeah.
2 hours later. Fuck. I've done 4 side quests. I don't know what's going on in the story at all.
Yeah. My time with Eivor was pretty much like, you got a pulse? I'll bang you. It's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get Sexton.
Yeah.
Sexton all the boys. He is
Bang
pretty hot,
boys.
Eivor.
So did you pick male?
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I like my main protagonist is a bit of eye candy if I can, or someone in my party being a bit of eye candy. I'm pretty sure that's not how I started gaming. Whenever I was playing Mario and Alex the Kid and all that sort of stuff, I don't know where this is coming from. It seems to be an adult gamer thing. And look at Lava's face; she's like totally the same.
If I'm playing, I want something nice to look at.
Agrees.
There's no
Or
shame in that.
a really, really fierce female protagonist. We all know how much I love Aloy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's not a sexy boy, if it's Aloy or someone like Laura, or like it doesn't matter. But if I have the option of having a sexy boy, I'll have a sexy boy. Of course, I will.
That I can like look up to. Like either
Yeah.
I can pretend that it's me, like pretend that I'm the one sexing everybody,
Yes.
or I can be like, you're my best friend.
Yes.
Those are the two options. Either I am the person or they are my best friend. Those are the two things.
Same.
So I'm
What you
kind of
guys
happy
been
with
playing?
whatever. Well, so I've been playing bloody fucking shitler war games. Um but then so the other night, right? I was going to finish work early the other day. And then I was going to play some more of the game and get a little bit further into it.
Yep.
And then disaster struck, right? Like it was, when people are like, no good, very bad, horrible day.
Yep.
Like this shit was unreal. Unreal. Right?
Dramatically drops the highlighter.
Just put that down. So my in-laws came over and they were going to help my wife do some work in the garden. And I was like, sure, yeah, come over. Exploit old people for labor. Down for it. So I was up here in the office doing my day job stuff. And they were outside in the garden getting everything ready. My wife had scheduled a tip run because we can only schedule them now. You can't like just go like drop shit off.
Oh wow.
So she'd scheduled a tip run, and they were going to chop up a load of leftover wood because she's built like a little conservatory extension onto the house because she's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
So
that
there's
looked
loads of like,
awesome.
so good, so hot. I love it. So there's loads of like leftover like scraps of wood and things. So she plugged in the big table saw to chop things up, and when she plugged it in, smoke started pouring out. First bad thing. And this saw is only like 6 months old. You know, lesbians, we love power tools.
Yep.
So we were like, shit, we need a new saw. So I said, well, just go. We've got loads of more building work we need to do. So go to Tool Station, also known as like lesbian porn hub. Get a new saw. We're gonna need a new saw. So go get a new saw. And she's like, cool, I'll go do that. And she's getting some stuff together. She's gonna stop by the grocery store. So she takes her mom, uh, and she's getting some stuff ready. There's the litter tray in the kitchen that needs emptying. And so she's like emptying the litter tray, emptying the bin in the kitchen. And she's like, I'll drop this, I'll empty this out, and I'll take it and put it out front. So that when we load up the truck or the van, we'll just put that straight in the van. And while she's emptying that into the bag, her dad's like, "Oh, you've got to put something on the telly for me to watch because I don't know how to work your TV because we don't have like Sky or cable or anything. We do everything through the Xbox on like Netflix or YouTube or whatever, and he
Yeah.
can't work it." So her mom's like, "Come on, we're gonna be late. We gotta go." And her dad's like, "Put some shit on TV for me." So she leaves the bag full of cat litter and leftover food on the kitchen floor and goes and puts something on telly for her dad, and then walks out the door with her mom. And I'm upstairs working blissfully in like back to back meetings all morning. And then I have a break, like a 3-minute break in between meetings. So I like fly downstairs to get a cup of coffee. And as I fly down the stairs, my father in law turns to me from the sofa. My downstairs is all open plan, right? So you can see from like the living room through the kitchen and like everything's open plan. And he turns to me and he goes, "Oh, you've come down just in time." And I think, "What, like you want a coffee? What? Okay, fine, I'll make you a coffee." And I keep coming down the stairs and he goes, "Your dog's been making a mess. I can't clean it up because I don't know where anything is." And I was like, "You helped me build this house. Like, you know where everything is. You literally, like, you know where everything is." And I come around the corner and that bag is just gone.
Oh
And
no. Oh
there's
no.
litter everywhere. There's no more cat turds. Those have disappeared.
Oh
There's
no.
also no more leftover food. All of that has disappeared.
Oh no.
The dogs have seen me coming. I have 2 dogs, one who's 3 and one who's 13. Those dogs have also disappeared. They have seen me coming and know that they should not have done whatever they have done. And it's just a mess of just the sea of litter and just slobber. Then like it's been ground into the floor and just it's a mess. And
Grim.
I just stand there and my father-in-law looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know where anything is." Again. And I just look at him and I'm like, "Your family, your family, your family, your family, your family.
Don't kill him.
Don't kill him." And I was like, okay." So I like grabbed the broom, which was 3 feet away from him in plain sight. And I like at this point, I now have 1 minute before my next meeting that I'm chairing, so I can't like be late for it. So I'm like trying to sweep it up into the corner, and I'm like, shit, I haven't got time. So I kind of like sweep it into the side, and then I run back up to my meeting. The meeting then ends up getting canceled because the other people don't turn up, so that's fine. So I come back downstairs, clean the rest of it, text my wife. I'm like, "Your fucking dad, and your fucking." It's always her dog when the dogs have been naughty. So she comes home. We get it all tidied up. It's fine. Everything's fine until about 1 a.m.
Uh-oh.
when suddenly the older dog, who's 13, apparently decides, well, I don't know what he decided. I woke up to a stench
Uh-oh.
in the bedroom,
Oh
and
god.
it was a stench I had never smelled before. I mean, I'd smelled it in smaller quantities, but this, And I have a woman, I won't say her name because she'll turn on. I have an electronic assistant wired throughout my house. Luckily, because the light switch was on the other side of the room. So I said, woman who is programmed by Amazon, whose name I can't say out loud, turn on the bedroom light. And she turned on the bedroom light, and my dog was stood in the middle of the bedroom floor, looking at me with this look of pure shock on his face, while an arc of brown water shot out of his ass across the floor. In what really would have been quite an epic cascade in any other circumstance, except that it was my bedroom floor and his asshole that was involved in this. And it was terrible. So, and we couldn't it was all over the floor, and you're barefoot because you're in bed and naked because it's bed. So how do you how do you clean it? How you can't get to the door because he's blocked it with shit lake. So there was the whole thing of cleaning that up. And then he was sick all night. Just Tony took him downstairs. And he was in and out all night in the garden, and the garden looked like a fucking war zone by the end of it. He must have got rid of several kilos of poo by the end of the night.
Did you paint was your fence a new color?
It was terrible. And then, right, so we cleaned it all up, got not as much sleep as we fucking should have that night. And then I had to work in the morning. So I woke up, came in the office, and before we woke up in the night, he must have got up, come into the office, and there was a 6-inch tall pile of semi-solid, just a shit pile in the middle of the floor. That it was just, so there was 24 hours of just shitnado that we were dealing with in the house. So I'm gonna blame that on why I didn't do much book report, sir.
My God, that's so funny.
So that's why I didn't do my book report. My dog shit on it.
Yeah, everywhere.
He
I
shit
had
everywhere.
a similar instance with Jacko. So I have back home. I have another dog called Jacko. He's a full staff. And I was laying in bed one night as a puppy, and he wakes me up making these weird whimper noises, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" His bed was underneath the window, and I turned the bedroom light on, the lamp on, and I'm like, Jacko, are you okay? Because normally he sleeps
yeah.
At this point he's sat in his bed, and he's not. He's just I'm like, look, just go to sleep. I'm not dealing with this right now. You obviously maybe just had a bad dream or whatever it is. And I turn the light off.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Turn the light off, and through the window, the moonlight is coming through the. It's just a silhouette of this little tiny puppy. Yeah, and all of a sudden he goes. And just shit flew out of his ass all up the fucking window.
Oh
no!
And the windowsill, it was everywhere. Dogs are disgusting.
Jesus.
They are terrible.
But do you know what I've loved about both of these stories? Is how you guys have described the incidents. It's beautiful.
Is it?
It is a beautiful thing.
It's the language was like a soliloquy.
I'd spent the whole day telling off my other dog because I was convinced it was her that had done all of the eating. My wife is still convinced she was involved, but she wasn't sick at all.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it was the old dog that did all of the eating.
Maybe she's trying to get rid of the old dog. She's there with a little spoon, feeding the old dog. Come on,
Butch, eat all of this.
More bedroom for me.
Imagine that.
So yeah, so I played this terrible game, and cleaned up shit all week. That was my week.
Awesome.
Good.
What about you?
So apart from the Resident Evil Village demo, I replayed through Resident Evil 7 in
Oh, yeah.
anticipation for the
Is that
Resident
the
remake.
Biohazard one?
That's the Biohazard one, yeah. So
Yeah.
I thought, let's recap the situation, where we're up to with Ethan and Mia and everything else that goes on in the Baker family house. So I had a fun old little time with that. And then yesterday, old 70 Sam hypocritical me started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Another one that you were like, I'm never playing that.
Well, it's not that I was never going to play it. My issue with the Final Fantasy VII Remake is Square Enix's dirty tactics to try and squeeze every penny out of this game for the foreseeable next 10 years or however long it's going to take them to make all 16 parts of this game, or how many times they're going to try and chop it up and sell it to us.
Better not be fucking 10 years. I would like to.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But it was free on PlayStation Plus last month.
Yeah.
So I added it to my library and then I downloaded it and I started playing it. And I'm actually really enjoying it. Like, I'm on chapter 5, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, really like it.
Hang on, I'm not very good with chapter name, like what's happening at the moment.
So I'm on a train and it's just scanned me and the alarms went off and little robots jumped through the train windows.
Oh yeah, okay,
That's
cool.
where I'm at. So
very good.
Very beginning of chapter 5. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I like the almost hack and slash hybrid thing that they did with the controls. So it's like you can still kind of pause it to pick spells or abilities or do your overcharge things or summons or whatever it is that you want to do. But you kind of control the characters directly and switch between them and use kind of like button mashing to beat up the monsters, whatever it is. I really like that. To the point where I've even, because you know with PlayStation Plus you get Final Fantasy 15 Gold Royal Edition or whatever it is. I've downloaded that because I feel like by the time I get to the end of 7, because obviously the story's not going to finish, I'm 15 Royal.
I only played the demo of that, and they tried to it's not a similar combat system. The combat system it is sort of similar, but not really. It reminded me more of Kingdom Hearts, but they didn't really do it well. So there's 2 particular moves that you need to use. There's one to get away, like through your sword, and then you'll sort of like dash or like teleport or whatever to wherever your sword is. And there's a slash one as well. That the buttons are very close together, but I could not do the right move anytime I was trying to do it. Like they were just too close.
Yeah.
It really pissed me off, and I was just like, you know what, I can't be arsed with this. Fuck it, can't be bothered. Final Fantasy VII Remix, the first Final Fantasy I've really enjoyed since 10.2.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the first one I played since 13. Was it? Is that the one with lightning?
Yeah, I did enjoy that, but
and I
that
never
was my
finished that.
epic fail.
And then
Yeah,
before that, I think it was Final Fantasy 8.
Oh, that was a great.
Yeah, I'm never been massive into Final Fantasy, but yeah, I'm enjoying Final Fantasy. Like,
good, you hypocrite.
Yep. But
Yuffie DLC's out in June, but you won't be able to get that with the free version that you got in PlayStation Plus.
I don't think I'm that bothered.
Yuffie's awesome. She's one of my favorite characters.
But later on in the year, they're releasing the upgrade version out there, where you can buy the upgrade.
I think that's all coming out in June.
I'm sure they said that it was going to be available as like a standalone purchase, but it wasn't going to be till later in the year. So the only way to get it now is if you purchase the Intergrade. So like if you've got Final Fantasy VII now, when the Intergrade version comes out, you'll get the upgrade to the PS5 version of the game, but you won't get the DLC content. You have to purchase the DLC content thing later on down the line when it comes out as an add-on. Which, let's face it, that was not a surprise there, is it?
Oh, and we're back to shit.
And everybody thought
Yeah.
that part 2 was going to get announced, but no, they just announced the PS5 version and then repackaged it at a $70 game.
Ooh, $70. Fuck.
Mm. Yeah,
So yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing.
cool.
Well, that sounds like fun. I mean, more fun than cleaning up massive piles of poop.
Oh, and
Although I
burning
was
burning myself.
and burning yourself, yeah.
That is, you
Definitely.
really need
Going
some
dogging.
after sun on that.
Yeah, I've got some in the cupboard.
The first time I went to a British beach, I was so mad. I went to where did we go? Was it Hunstanton? No. I think it was Brighton. First time I went to the beach was Brighton over here. And we drove for like fucking hours because Brighton is very fucking far away. For an island that's very tiny, I don't understand why it takes so long to get anywhere over here. But we drove to Brighton, to the beach. I was very excited to go to the beach. And we got there and we parked up. And it's fucking rocks. That's not a beach. That's not a beach. That's rocks. That's not a beach.
That's
Welcome to the UK, baby.
yeah, it's just British people trying to be optimistic, looking on the bright side. It's by the sea. It's a beach.
It's a beach.
That's
You sounded like it's a Mario.
It's a Mario.
not a beach.
It's
I
a
was so
beach.
upset. I was so upset that, in fact, the next weekend, Tony took me to Hunstanton to go to an actual sand beach so that I wouldn't be upset. But when we got there, we got out of the car, and my dog, Rudy at the time, was so excited to get out of the car that he cocked his leg and pissed up my jeans. So that was
Oh.
my 2 beach experiences, the 2 weeks in a row. It was amazing. I loved it. Your country's
Absolutely
awesome.
amazing. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Right.
Very
Well, I
cool.
think that brings us to the end of our show. So not bad for book reports, even though we all hated it. Well done,
Yeah.
us.
Yay!
Yay! So if you enjoyed that, let us know. If you hated it, also let us know, but we will ignore you, so it's fine. If you've got any ideas for topics that you want us to not talk about for half the show because we go on tangents and we're not really all that sorry about it, also let us know. You can do that on any of the social media platforms: Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, whatever. We are at Gamers Assemble, spelled the super gay way, Gaymers, Gamers Assemble. You can also reach us on the old fashioned email, gamersassemble@gmail.com, .org.edu, .whatever. Just game, you'll find us. It's fine. You can find us. You're big boys and girls. You can do it. That's it. So thank you very much for joining us. We've had an amazing time. I think I forgot to introduce us, but it's fine. You know who we are by
Yeah.
now. I'm Llama, that's Beardy, that's Tiggs. We've had a great time. You've had a great time. I know you have because you stayed. And you wouldn't stay if you
Yay!
didn't like us,
This is so
Very true.
true.
right?
Yeah.
So have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Same great time, same great place. Until then, keep calm and game on. Bye.
Ta-ra!
Bye!